This is Steve from Macklin Bike Shop, YouTube channel, Macklin Bikes. After doing a review on the TIME ADHX 45 as a gravel bike, someone dropped in the comments asking how this bike would compare to a proper road bike in the interest of going down to one bike, having a gravel frame with a gravel wheel set, and then setting it up with some road wheels. We thought it'd be fun, so we set this bike up with some road wheels and tires to see how it would compare to a proper road bike. Now, the definition of a proper road bike could be pretty arguable at what that means. An all-arounder, a speed bike, an aero bike. I've got a Cervelo S5 sitting in the background, of which I do have a fair amount of time on now. I've ridden a lot of bikes, but we are talking about a time frame, so it's probably not gonna be an entry-level road bike. I thought the Cervelo S5 is a pretty punchy, responsive bike, super fun bike to ride. It's not a climbing bike, but for being an aero bike, it climbs pretty well. So I've got in the background, that's probably the latest thing that I can probably compare it to when we're talking proper road bike. The all-arounder Soloist probably would be a better, fair comparison. I'll have a review coming up on the S5 sometime here in the near future. I'm very delinquent on that. Obviously, that bike has been out for a really long time. I personally haven't had a chance to spend much time on one until this past 6 months or so. Anyway, going through how I had this bike set up first. I had this bike set up on a set of head Emporias, the aluminum ones, with some Mezcal 44s, a Force Explorer drivetrain, Easton P90 crank, a 44 tooth chain ring on it. And then of course the Force hoods, a set of Easton bars on it, the Easton carbon seat post on it. That's how I was riding it as a gravel bike, loved it. I put it in the sporty gravel bike class, a racy feeling gravel bike, very responsive, rides really well, but just a fun gravel bike to ride. One of my last rides with this thing with the gravel tires on it was a ride up to one of our small local single tracks, a little bit of pavement up there, a couple gravel roads, and did a couple hot laps around the flowy single track. It's not a rooty, rocky single track. It's fairly tame flow with berms and tabletops and that type of thing. And I had an absolute riot on this bike. Although it was slower than on my trail bike around there, not much. I had a blast and super fun. This setup as a road bike, I've got a set of Easton EA90 SL wheels, aluminum wheels, pretty light for an aluminum wheel. I really like this wheel set. Got a set of Vittoria Corsa speeds. It's not a set actually. There's a speed on the front. On the back, we've got a Corsa Next in a 26. So we've got a 25 on the front, 26 in the back. Why the difference? I put too many holes in the speed on the back, had to replace it, and I had a Corsa Next that I put on there. I have a S5 that I've been spending some time on, and I have some 28 Corsa Pros on that. Anyway, does the TIME ADHX make for a proper road bike? It's a sporty gravel bike, and when you put road tires on it and compare it to what kind of any sporty road bike's gonna feel like, no, it's not the same thing. But compared to a really good all-road bike, absolutely, it's a fantastic all-road bike. I was pleasantly surprised at how nice it rode with skinny tires. To going from 44 millimeter Mezcals, anywhere from 26 to 32 PSI, I expected putting 25s on here. This bike would get extremely rigid. It did not. It actually rides really well. So if you're looking for a bike that you could dual purpose gravel and as an all-road endurance bike, fantastic. So what I would say is it's a boring road bike if you're trying to compare it to a sporty, quick, responsive, fast, proper road bike, if that's what the definition of that is. Yeah, the S5 is way more fun on the pavement. A climbing bike, a Soloist or something like that is gonna be way more fun on the pavement. But if your purpose for that is an endurance all-road bike or just an endurance pure pavement bike that you want to put some 28s on, it's fantastic. Super comfortable to ride. You could go and put a ton of miles on it. I did a 107-mile ride on it Sunday with my two teenagers, and they were on fast road bikes, and I was on this, and we had a great road ride. It was awesome. But that said, for a big road ride like that, if you're going out on the pavement and your intent is to have a sporty, quick, fast feeling road bike, I'd rather be on a purpose-built road bike. But again, it's going to depend on what your expectations of that bike are. I think I'd left a comment somewhere on Instagram about, hey, maybe this will be turned into putting a front derailleur or whatever on it. I don't know if we're gonna go there. I have road bikes I like to ride. I love riding fast road bikes, and recently with opening a new shop, I don't have a lot of time to ride right now. And so when I do get out and ride, I kind of want to ride something specific. So this thing's gonna get the gravel wheels put back on it and probably gonna stay as a gravel bike. And I'm gonna keep riding bikes like that on the pavement, because when I go on the pavement, I'm looking for a fun, sporty, fast ride. And I do think even if you're gonna do a long endurance 100-mile ride, you can get on a fast aero bike. And as long as you get fitted and set up properly for you, you can end up with a pretty comfortable ride and a fun, fast, sporty bike at the exact same time. So for me, if it was me, I'd build one of these up and I'd build a really sweet gravel bike. That would be my gravel bike. And if I could swing it, I would have a proper road bike. If not, if it's trying to keep it down to one, just know the expectations are it's gonna be a really good, comfortable all-road bike, but it's never gonna be something like this. Thanks for tuning in. We'll do some more fun stuff like this. I've got some bike reviews going up. It's been a little while, but we're moved into the new shop and some more of this stuff should be coming out. Thanks for tuning in.